Good morning. We have been running around having just like a busy but beautiful summer. You guys just saw last week we were in Minnesota for my sister's wedding. It was beautiful, you guys. I'll post like one pic. I really don't have many pictures yet because they're on their honeymoon right now. Well, and I guess photographers take forever, but it was so beautiful, trust me. So I took you guys along to see my parents' 1907 home tour, and then I took you to my absolute favorite thrift store in the world. So if you missed that one, go check it out. You should have already seen that one. But we are back home now, and our house is feeling so cluttered and disorganized with all of the moving parts. So we're gonna address that today. I'm gonna address the drop zones in my house. I think there's 5 of them. I've actually already filmed most of them, but then I honestly was gonna call this video like 10 organizational decluttering hacks that will change your life, something flashy. But as I was doing this, I actually had like a really hard time and got like choked up and emotional and just really started thinking more about decluttering and what it means to my life. So I'm gonna share that because I think that is more valuable and more important. So I will share the clips from the past few days that I got in between things. And then we're gonna do the very last space today, which is my vanity area. And I wanna use some Thrifted and actually my grandmother's crystal to organize and make it look really pretty, like my makeup stuff and my hair stuff. If it's pretty, I will actually make it work. I will continue to organize it. All right, so we're gonna get some breakfast. I have a friend come over for a coffee date, and then I'll do that later today. Well, let's go ahead and roll some clips. Here is our entryway. Let me go ahead and flip the camera around and show you the full view. So, wow, he just fell asleep. Okay, I'm gonna put him to sleep, but this is the entryway that I have decorated and shown you guys, but this is the closet that I have not shown you guys. We just got back from 4th of July yesterday, so that's what that is there. But this is the current situation in here. And as you can see, there's a lot of wasted space, but this is a great space to have as a drop zone. I had an organization system, but it wasn't labeled, so we're gonna address that. All right, so let's talk about the hardest part of decluttering, and that is getting started. And I think that for me, one of the reasons that I don't get started is because I make it into a big deal. Like I have to make this a huge makeover of this closet or something. Well, there's a lot of things that I could do in this closet, but really those are just not realistic for what I need to do now to make this a very functional space to be able to hide the clutter and the functional stuff that we need. I'm going to dive into a few more of the mindset shifts that have been very helpful for me at decluttering this week, but first some tips. Put out the shoes to what we are actually going to use, but I almost forgot a very important tip. This is summer. We got things to do. I'm not going to do a full makeover on this. There's definitely things that I could do to make this a much more functional closet, but today's just organization. So I'm going to set a little timer. I'm going to try to do the rest of this in 7 minutes. I'm going to share some tips of how I declutter and how I get rid of stuff, either toss it or donate it, some questions that I ask myself. So I hope that through this video, maybe you can join me and also declutter some of the spaces that have been causing you a little bit of pain and stress and that you have been avoiding. The timer is ticking, you can probably hear it, but these are the baskets that I've been using to organize things. This was actually in like a standing organizer thing, but I took them out of there and I had like index cards on there to label them, but that's not working. So we're gonna make new labels, and then I need to just reorganize these so that they're all in the right spot. And I think I can declutter some of these, like hats. Like we do not need this many hats. Having a set amount of space for a specific category of items is very helpful in not having too much, because if it doesn't fit in this box, then it's gotta go. All right, so my timer for 7 minutes was a little bit ambitious. I'm gonna turn it back on for 10 minutes though and label these baskets. So how do you label baskets? That's something that I've always struggled with. I'm sure they sell something to like label it easy, like a chalkboard little thing to like tie on it, but I don't want to buy something else. So something that I can do that is free is use my label maker that I already have. This is like the cheapest label maker you can get, and it's the most basic, and it won't break, and you don't have to connect it to your phone and all this like stuff. So you just click it and it turns the label. So I'll show you how I use this, but I'm gonna put these onto an index card, cut it, And then I'm gonna tie the index card onto the basket. I want it to look good. I don't want it to look just like a sticky note or something. So I want it to look presentable but still be simple. So I think this should work. Let's see how it goes. The timer just went off, but I'm gonna put these back in here, and I have a baby waking up, so we're gonna call it for the next few minutes until I can get him ready to sit and observe. Closet is so much better. Before I show you how it turned out, I just want to mention, we just start with the smallest spots in your house, the easiest to do. Like this place, most of the stuff just needed to be taken back to their respective rooms. Start with that, it'll give you a little boost, and then we can tackle the more challenging spaces. So let me show you this, then we'll tackle some more challenging ones. This is our craft closet cabinet. Okay, I wish I could say that this was my kid's fault, this one, but this is all my fault. This is my DIY cabinet back here. I share a lot of DIYs on this channel, like home DIYs, and this is the madness behind them. So let me show you what we're working with. All right, let's take a look. Oh man. Yeah, so this is like stuff that I just throw up here that I can't let my kids get, like the paint, but it's so dangerous. Like all of this stuff is about to just fall out. And then down here is stuff that they can access. Like we have board games and puzzles down here. And then this is craft supplies that there's just so much wasted space up here. See, like that wasted space, we need to do this vertically. And then I just need to figure this out. We're going to take everything out. I'm gonna set a timer and we're gonna categorize things.
Okay, so this cabinet I wasn't actually expecting to be difficult for the reason that it was, and that was because I actually ended up finding things that I had been stuffing in here that were kind of sentimental, and I ended up having to go through them a little bit, and I think that can be really hard with sentimental items because we have a little bit of guilt with getting rid of them. But I will show you in the last space that I'll organize in this video today how I keep my sentimental items in check and not have too many of them. But the item that I found in here that was difficult for me to process was actually a folder of notes from PT school. So if you guys have been following along, you might remember that I went to PT school and got my doctorate in physical therapy and was working full-time before having our second baby when I started staying home little by little and now fully staying home. And finding these notes and decluttering them kind of felt like closing of a door, but I had to continue to remind myself that even though I might be pruning some of these things out, it doesn't mean that this door is closing. These really wouldn't even be essential to me going back to physical therapy if I did go back. So as cheesy as it sounds, whenever I am in a season of pruning, I just remind myself that a good gardener always prunes, and that it allows for the next season and the current season to bloom so much more beautifully.
Okay, this one took a little bit more time, but it is very satisfying, and I'm like 100 times more excited to actually do DIYs now that my space is manageable. What it looks like now, it definitely still has a lot of stuff, especially up top. I'm trying to figure out how to use this space a little bit better. I think I might get like a shelf. Does that exist? Like a shelf in there? I'm thinking like those old school locker shelves that we had in middle school. But also down here, there's just a lot of space that we can use for kids stuff as they come in and as it fluctuates. But I have paper there for them standing up vertically instead of flat to save space. All of their markers. This can be like current projects. I'm gonna try to find like a cuter basket for that. Play-Doh. Oh, this is very important. This is the homeless toys. This is just like once I take the toys out of rotation, I sometimes forget little parts of them. Like these letters went with a puzzle that I already put away like a while ago. It's out of rotation. So instead of trying to like dig it out of rotation or just throwing those parts away, I have a homeless toys like spot so that I can just put it in next time I'm doing a toy rotation, and that helps a lot. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is the largest online platform for creatives. They have thousands of classes led by industry experts in a ton of different categories. So I'll tell you which class that I just completed, but some of the others that caught my eye were on interior design and cooking, productivity, successful vlogging, you name it, there is a class for you. The class that I just completed was on iPhone portrait photography, and I have so enjoyed putting into practice some of the things that I learned in this class, taking pictures of my children now just around our house, actually even teaching Gideon, our 4-year-old, some of these things because he just has an obsession with taking pictures of us around the house, usually unexpected pictures. Skillshare is offering the first 500 of my viewers a free 1-month trial using the link down in my description. So make sure to check them out and you guys can get started today learning. All right, so let's go ahead and get back to organizing. One I've been dreading. My car, guys, is so bad. Know what's in here right now. Honestly, it's just like trash, a lot of trash, and there's a lot of stuff up here. So I have brought out the trash can as well as 2 bags to bring inside to the 2 different sides of our house, and we're just gonna rock through this.
To mention another hack that I use in addition to the timer, which is very helpful, I also use baskets. So this could be bags like I'm using outside here, or like a laundry basket inside. So instead of constantly running things to different prospective rooms where they're supposed to go, I have a number of baskets with me, and each one is assigned to a location in the house that it is going to. And then when I am decluttering an area like this, I can just put those into the baskets, and then I just take one trip, and it saves so much time.
I actually forgot that I found a piece of furniture in the trash this morning. So I'm gonna be showing this as part of like a DIY soon in a patio makeover video. But I found this chair in the trash, so stay tuned to see how I fix this one. I don't leave a lot of stuff in here, but I'd like to leave a pack of diapers because it's often that we forget them. And then also I have this as like a changing pad. The other side is a changing pad. Well, it's plastic, so I call it a changing pad. And then this we can use as like a picnic on that side. Is that kind of gross? I don't know. Multi-purpose at least. That's like for an emergency. Like those are emergency things. And then I'm gonna vacuum, and then I'll show you how it looks after. The best part of this was that I found the water bottle that we have been looking for Benjamin. I'm filming this after I do the next step, which is getting rid of some of my stuff for the thrift store. So that is what all of this is. We've made it to my lunchroom closet. Let's see if anything falls out. Okay, we're good here. Nothing falling out. That's where we're starting. All right, 15 minutes, let's do this.
This bottom cabinet here is actually all donations for the thrift store. So once it gets to this level of almost exploding out is when it's time for me to take a trip to the thrift store to donate stuff. I like having a deadline when I am trying to declutter, and so I just recently went through all of our toys so that I could give them to a mama friend of mine that just had her first baby. But having a deadline like donating everything to the church yard sale can be really helpful so that you actually get things done. I've also done a clothing swap with my girlfriends. Like at night, we all just bring clothing and we all just take whatever we want. And that is so helpful for me to have a deadline like that.
One more. This was bandages. Never gonna use this many bandages. That's insane. There's even more. Yeah. Oh my. Buying in bulk is good and all, I'm all for it, but so much better. So much better. Honestly, I already had it organized pretty well, like in these tubs and things. Like I knew where things go. It was just everything had been dumped here, and then I had been closing it. So now everything is here, and I just need to put it all where it needs to go really quick before the kids get into it. spot that I've been dreading. My closet. We all have these embarrassing spaces, right? Please tell me we do. Make sure there's nothing too embarrassing here. Okay, so we're gonna just do the basket method. I'm gonna set a timer to declutter. And then I have crystal that I want to use to organize my jewelry, which I also store in here. So we did actually redo this closet and made it just like new wood. We kind of kept the same format of it. It might have been a little bit different, but the weird thing about it is that it goes, yeah, Cassian, it goes way back far deep in there. So you can't reach any of that stuff, but that's okay. I use that for like suitcases and like stuff that I don't need. I actually put my notes up there that I was getting emotional over. I put that one folder up there that I did end up keeping. So stuff that I just like don't need can go way back in there. But this needs to be accessible and usable and functional. And currently it is not. Hi, you're such a chatterbug today. Yes, hi guys. So jewelry I do want to keep on this shelf. I'm gonna make this like my everyday like dressing table area, so it'll be like really cute. This I think we're gonna use for like big products that need to be stored in here, like toilet paper, paper towels, tissues, toothpaste, that kind of thing. And then this will be like the travel stuff where I keep like my special things, like sentimental things. So this is long term, like these have been in here for a while. And then this is like stuff that I put in just kind of frequently. So I put it in here, and then if I really want to keep it after like a year, I go through it eventually and put it into the long-term one. That works for me so that I don't at least like end up with getting way too much stuff. I'm going to share my 2 questions that I keep in the back of the head that I ask myself while I'm decluttering that really help. You're either going to think this is disgusting or adorable. See it? That is Benji's curl. His first little curl. He had this little curl in the back of his head. So that's gonna go into storage, like long-term storage immediately. It can just bypass short-term storage. We're keeping that. I'm so weird. All right, someone tell me I'm not weird, please. All right, so the first question that I ask myself, this one is particularly helpful for clothing, is how hard would I work to get a really bad stain out of this item? Secondly, I like to ask myself, am I holding on to this purely because of feeling guilty for sending this to the landfill because I might use it in the future? Because really what this is I'm just turning my house into the landfill. Okay, a lot of things I just didn't even know are up there. Like the most expired vitamins ever. Hard gummy vitamins. Shark teeth. An entire case of shark teeth. Makeup bag, toothpaste. Wow, didn't know I had so much toothpaste actually. Trash. Bow ties. The boys. Bassinet sheet. We don't use our bassinets anymore. Did we ever use it? Not really. I want to add a third question that I've been keeping in my mind, especially when decluttering my kids' toys, and that is, does this item take more time to clean up and maintain than it is actually used? This was after my C-section, super helpful, but it gets stretched out, so cost. Shoes. So this is my entire shoe collection besides like the 3 pairs of sandals that I'm currently wearing for the summer. But I think I could go through these even more because a lot of them are breaking. And a lot of them, this is actually really sad, I purchased these and I really wasn't wearing them much because they weren't comfortable. And I thought I donated them, but I only donated 1. And I feel so bad because these are really nice shoes. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna bless someone with these new shoes. And yeah, I mean, they're like all leather. They're really nice, but they only got 1 at the thrift store. So now I have to toss this one, unfortunately. So yeah, that made me sad. I was hoping I would like find it, but it's been like a year and I haven't found it. So it's time for it to go. So let's organize this. Let's see. So these I purchased from the Goodwill bins and I just haven't grabbed them. They're not super comfortable. I also don't think they're super flattering. So I'm gonna go ahead and donate these because I think somebody else would enjoy them. They're very nice shoes. Someone might enjoy them. These I wore for the first time like 2 weeks ago. And I actually enjoyed wearing these. So I will keep these. Let's see. These these are looking so beat up, but I wear these like to garden and like just as slip-ons when I go outside in the winter. Like this is Florida winter. This is the type of shoes you have to wear. So I will hold on to these even though they're beat up. Black flats. You know, these I have had for about 6 years. They've gotten a lot of use out of them. I have colored them with black Sharpie on the bottom because they're peeling. And I haven't worn them in the past like 2 years, I would say. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss those. They're pretty disgusting. So I don't have that many pairs of shoes left. These started breaking when I wore them last time. So I think it's time to pass these. Do you guys donate stuff like this? Even if it's like a little bit, like someone could fix it if it was worthwhile to them, but I honestly think that they've just had their go. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss these as well. Is that right, Cassian? Pretty good. So I'm pretty proud of this. I have 1, 2, 3, 10, 2 pairs of sneakers, 11, 12. I only have 12 pairs of shoes right now, and that makes me really happy. But I do need some heels actually, because now I don't have any heels. My ones that I wore for the weddings, my sister's wedding, broke. So I need to replace those. That's pretty good. I've done good job. This can go, that's like a bookmarks. Okay, so these, I'm gonna take everything off so I can dust it because, oh my gosh. I didn't donate it. Now I can take it out of the trash. Oh, I'm so glad. Wow, this is great. This made it all worth it. Just look how cute these are. They're just a good, like a good shine, a good shape and everything, but they are incredibly uncomfortable on me. I think they're just a little bit too small. My feet have grown a little bit since having babies. So yay, now I'll get to donate them. But I have trash here. I have like the jewelry things that I want to have, like it's my vanity counter. This is like the stuff that I have for bulk things as well as travel things. All right, now the things are cleared out, it's time to create some sort of organization. I'm going to be using this family crystal as well as some that I thrifted last week actually from the Goodwill bins. So pardon the dim lights. I actually put Cassian down for a nap and he sleeps in our room. So that's why I turned down the lights. I have bought them in the past, but I do try to avoid buying those clear plastic organization bins. I just think it's a little bit wasteful and they're not the prettiest. I would much rather use something like this to organize in here, and it makes me more inclined to put things away when it looks pretty and like decorations. Almost spiraled. I almost started wallpapering the inside of this little like cube unit with extra wallpaper that I had left over from our old townhome. Well, I did not, but I will show you how I put a fan in the back to make it look like aesthetic and pretty. And I still need to find something to hold my necklaces. I don't know. I'm gonna have to rack my brain to think of some way that I could do that. Did want to point out that I did get rid of a lot of makeup and nail polish and stuff that was just really old, as well as earrings and like just jewelry stuff that was just really tarnished. This is all like costume stuff. So I definitely could get rid of some clothing soon, but maybe that's a whole nother video. I honestly do not thank you guys enough for watching and for commenting and liking, all the things that help support this channel. But you guys have been so kind in comments lately, and it's just so sweet. So thank you. It's hard being like home all the time and you don't get feedback from like a boss or anything like I used to get. And you don't get like a paycheck for, you know, doing the dishes. But thank you guys. You guys are just so kind to me. So thank you guys. And let me show you how this place turned out. Now for how it looks now. I have been working on putting together and filming 2 makeover videos for you guys, one of my patio and one of my family room. So subscribe and hit that bell so that you can be notified when I get those out to you guys. Don't forget to check out Skillshare. I hope that you all have a very blessed week. Bye guys.